Morning television is meant to be light, friendly, and inviting. A space where celebrity guests share laughs, sip tea, and tell stories about their lives. But what happens when a royal arrives carrying a chip on his shoulder and an attitude to match? That's exactly what unfolded when Prince Harry sat across from Alison, Hammond and Dermot on this morning. What should have been a smooth promotional segment quickly turned into one of the most intense confrontations in daytime television history. Harry's biting remarks, Dermot's mounting frustration, and Alison's frantic attempts to maintain calm transformed an ordinary interview into a memorable showdown that ended with Harry storming off set. The This Morning studio buzzed with its usual energy as the cameras rolled. Alison Hammond greeted viewers with her bright cheerfulness, flashing her famous smile. Dermot adjusted his notes, his calm, professional demeanor setting the stage. "Good morning, everyone. Today we have a very special guest joining us," Alison said, her voice full of enthusiasm. "He's someone we all know, someone whose life has been, well, more than just public. Please welcome Prince Harry." The audience applauded as Harry walked onto the set. Wearing a dark tailored suit with no tie, his shirt casually open at the collar, he waved lightly to the crowd. But the tight jaw and furrowed brow hinted he hadn't come to be charming. Alison leaned forward warmly. "Harry, it's wonderful to have you here today. How are you feeling this morning?" Harry gave a dry chuckle, leaning back. "Well, Alison, I suppose I'm feeling the same as always, surrounded by people who ask questions they think they already know the answers to." The audience chuckled awkwardly. Alison's smile faltered for a brief second before she recovered. "Oh, no, number. We're just excited to talk with you. How's life in California? Settling in with Meghan and the kids?" Harry's answer was quick and sharp. "California is fine. At least I'm not hounded every moment by the British press, or," he added, glancing at Dermot, "by television presenters looking for their next headline." Dermot raised his brows but kept calm. "We're not chasing headlines, Harry. We just want our viewers to hear from you directly. Surely that's something you appreciate given how often you've said the press misrepresents you." Harry smirked. "Yes, well, Dermot, the difference is I usually get to choose who I speak to. Today, apparently, I didn't have that choice." The tension tightened, though Alison quickly jumped in to smooth it over. "Oh, come now, Harry. We're delighted to have you. Everyone at home wants to know about your projects, your life, and, of course, your family. How are Archie and Lilibet?" Harry sighed heavily, shifting in his chair. "They're fine, Alison. Perfect, in fact. But whenever someone asks about my children on live television, I wonder, are you really interested, or just looking for a sound bite? If it's the latter, I'll save us all trouble and say they're wonderful. Full stop." The audience shifted uncomfortably. Alison laughed nervously. "Well, we are genuinely interested, Harry. You're a father, and many viewers are parents too. It's a shared connection." But Harry cut her off. "Connection? Alison, you don't know me. You don't know my children. And you don't know what it's like living under the shadow of a monarchy that controls everything about your life. So forgive me if I don't see this as a cozy chat." Dermot shifted, his calm edge fraying. He leaned forward, voice firmer. "Harry, with all due respect, you agreed to be here. Public figures come on this show for open conversations. It's not intrusion, it's honesty for the audience who has followed your journey." Harry's jaw tightened, eyes narrowing. "Honesty? Don't lecture me about honesty, Dermot. I live honestly every day while the press twists everything I do. This is just another circus act. I'm the show pony, and you're the handlers making sure I trot out the right lines." Gasps swept through the audience. Alison's eyes flicked to Dermot, silently pleading. Dermot exhaled, holding himself. "Harry," Alison said gently, "we want to understand your side. People admire your voice and your path. Surely talking about that is good." Harry crossed his arms, tone dripping with disdain. "Or maybe it's just good for your ratings. Don't pretend this is about understanding me. It's about you, your show, and the spectacle of having a prince who left the institution." The studio felt heavier, as if the lights dimmed under the tension. Dermot's smile vanished, patience thinning. Alison, still trying to stabilize the conversation, cleared her throat. Let's take a quick break, and when we return, we'll continue with Prince Harry. The cameras cut to commercial, but the tension lingered like electricity in the air. What began as a simple morning chat had already veered off course, and the worst was yet to come. When the cameras returned, Alison's smile was bright but stretched thin. Dermot adjusted, sitting up straight, calm but clipped. Harry sat with legs crossed, arms folded, exuding defiance. Alison jumped in. Welcome back to This Morning. We're joined by Prince Harry talking about life, family, and projects. Her laugh carried a nervous edge. Harry, let's discuss your latest charity work. You've supported some amazing organizations in California, right? Harry nodded slowly, dismissively. Yes, though I doubt the details interest your viewers. People prefer gossip, don't they? Alison blinked, unsettled. Well, I think viewers are genuinely curious about your positive work. Harry smirked. Curious, maybe, but not committed. Charity doesn't make headlines. My private life does. That's why I'm here. The audience murmured nervously. Dermot's face tightened, voice steady. Harry, many people are interested in your work. We try to balance our projects and public interest. That's live television. Harry scoffed. Balance? No, Dermot. Balance is focusing on substance, not tripping me up with questions about my wife and children. Dermot inhaled slowly, patience thinning. Asking about your family isn't tripping you up, Harry. It's relatable. You've often said you want to be a good father. That's admired. Harry's laugh was sharp, humorless. Admire or scrutinize? Every word about my kids is twisted, analyzed. And now here you are playing the same game. Alison's voice softened. Harry, I think Dermot means it positively. People love hearing about Archie and Lilibet. How are they? Harry pressed his lips into a thin smile, sarcasm clear. They're thriving, Alison. Thriving despite noise, speculation, and the fact their father can't sneeze without headlines. But thank you for asking. The tension escalated. The audience shifted, awkward energy filling the studio. Dermot straightened his notes, jaw tight. Let's pivot a little, Dermot said, professional but firm. Harry, there's been talk about your Netflix projects, some disputes over finances. Can you clarify? Harry's eyes narrowed. The money question. Predictable. Dermot raised his brows. It's public curiosity. Harry leaned forward, voice sharp. People are curious because the press feeds lies. Shows like this serve it on a platter. You call it journalism, I call it voyeurism. Gasps fluttered through the audience. Alison tensed, hands gripping the table. Harry, Dermot didn't mean it like that. He's asking the questions on people's minds. But Harry pressed on. Maybe people are too focused on whether I negotiated fairly. I'm not the only one providing for a family. The audience murmured, uneasy. Dermot's patience thinned. Fair enough, Harry, but critics say moving away from monarchy yet taking multi-million deals seems contradictory. Harry's eyes flashed. Contradictory? You mean surviving, making a life outside a cage that crushed my mother and nearly me? I won't cry into crown and jewels. Alison leaned in. Harry, no one's denying your experiences. Dermot is just saying. Harry cut her off, voice rising. No, Alison. Dermot implies I'm a hypocrite, wanting out yet wanting resources. That's called adapting. Dermot clenched his jaw, calm cracking. Harry, I'm not implying, but people see criticism of monarchy while enjoying privileges. Harry leaned closer. Privileges? Watching my mother die in a crash, being hunted by cameras daily? Keep your lecture, Dermot. You haven't lived mine. Silence fell. Alison reached toward Dermot's arm. All right, let's pause. Dermot's calm mask faltered. I respect your pain, Harry. But there's a difference between sharing and sneering at questions. This isn't therapy. Harry smirked coldly. Maybe that's the problem, Dermot. Too much television. Too many people pretending to care while digging for drama. The tension was suffocating. Alison forced a smile. We'll be right back. The cameras cut to commercial, but the studio buzzed. This was no longer a friendly chat, it was a clash. When cameras returned, Alison's laugh rang a little too loud, masking tension. Welcome back to This Morning. We're with Prince Harry talking about his life, family, and projects. Dermot sat rigid, notes in front, jaw tight. Harry lounged, arms spread, arrogant. Alison tried again. Harry, let's pivot. You speak about mental health, resilience. Has your platform helped awareness? Harry didn't look at her at first, then smirked. Awareness? Sure, though common sense. Alison, maybe ask something less obvious. The audience gasped softly. Alison's smile froze, voice tighter. People want to know how you've changed the conversation. Harry shrugged. I said what needed saying. If people haven't heard, they're not listening. Dermot spoke. Harry, awareness is ongoing. That's why people ask about your role. Harry tilted his head. Curious or nosy? Mostly not about solutions, just keeping me defensive. I'm tired. Alison reached for water, buying time. Dermot grew firmer. Let's address your relationship with Prince William. Is reconciliation possible? Harry's smirk vanished. Speculation. Speculation. William lives his life. I live mine. I don't owe updates. Dermot nodded. But you've spoken publicly about family tensions. People ask naturally. Harry's voice sharpened. Natural? No. Voyeuristic. People want drama, not truth. We're different men, different paths. End of story. The audience stirred. Alison dried. People root for you too. Too? Harry cut her off. People root for comfort, not reality. Fairy tales? Disney Plus. This is my life. Dermot leaned forward. Fair enough, but when you release books, documentaries, interviews on private tensions, it's natural people follow up. Harry laughed bitterly. Of course. Spin it that way. I tell my story, accused of oversharing, yet Palace feeds press daily. Hypocrisy. Alison's smile slipped. Harry cut her off. I know what Dermot means. He should admit it. Palace controls narrative, but I can't speak truth. Audience buzzed. Dermot's jaw tightened, voice calm but firm. When you ask the world to listen, it asks questions. That's accountability. Harry leaned forward, sharp. Accountability for me? What about family that silenced me, institution that destroyed my mother and threatened my wife? Words hung heavy. Alison placed a hand on Dermot. Let's move on. Dermot's calm cracked. Every time I ask, you deflect, insult, belittle. This isn't a witch hunt. You chose to be here. Harry smirked. Cold choice? Hardly. These interviews are circus acts, and you, Dermot, are ringmasters. Dermot leaned forward, low voice cutting. I've interviewed under pressure, never with disdain like today. It's arrogance, Harry, not strength. Audience gasped. Alison intervened. Let's breathe. Harry smirked wider, enjoying chaos. Arrogance or honesty? Dermot's eyes locked on Harry. The contempt again. Maybe the problem isn't monarchy, media, or family. Maybe it's you. Words hit like thunder. Alison pale. Audience gasped. Harry froze, jaw tightening. For a moment, silence. Storm had arrived. Cameras rolling. Producers stayed. Studio ethic, suffocating. Dermot rigid, knuckles white. Harry smirked, enjoying discomfort. Alison dried. Let's not. Harry raised hand dismissively. Don't worry, Alison. Dermot needs release. Let him. Dermot leaned forward, voice low, warning. You want honesty, Harry? Fine. Audience silent. Alison hand hovered. You've spent an hour claiming unfair treatment, being silenced, misunderstood. Reality check. You hate monarchy, yet it gave you the platform. Without royal name, no deals, no interview. Cashed every crown stamp check while calling it oppressive. See hypocrisy. Audience gasped, phones out. Harry's smirk faltered. Hypocrisy. Survival. Not apologizing. Dermot sharper. Survival? Privileged. Castles to California mansions, tabloids to Netflix. Self-indulgence. Alison pleaded. Dermot, please. Too late. Years of composure gone. Another thing. Dermot leaned close. You attack family giving everything, hiding behind words like authenticity. Without Meghan, without spotlight, you'd be forgotten. Every interview, book, another cling to relevance. Harry flushed red, voice rising. How dare you? Dermot snapped, booming. How dare you sneer at us, public, family while taking privileges. Turned grievance to brand, Pain to paycheck, this studio another stage. Audience erupted. Alison halfway up, arms out. Please, number. Harry shot up, chair scraping, voice cracking. I don't take this. Not from you or anyone. You know nothing. Dermot stood, ice cold. Can't answer fair questions without insults. Maybe don't come. Harry fists tightened, audience feared outburst. He pointed, shaking. You'll regret this. Ambush. Pure. Dermot turned to cameras. Apologize. Not intended conversation. Respect guests, but respect is two-way. Can't continue. Harry froze. Interview over. Cut off. You're throwing me out? Incredulous. Dermot steady. Yes, this morning. Not soap box. Time to leave. Audience gasped. Alison covered mouth. Harry twisted in rage. Humiliation across face. Grabbed jacket. Unbelievable. You'll see. You'll regret this. Stormed off. Footsteps echoing. Alison wide-eyed to camera. Sorry you witnessed that. Not what this show is about. Dermot exhaled, pale but resolute. Back after break. Screen faded. Audience buzzing. Footage destined for history. Harry sought narrative control, but was ejected live. What do you think? Was Dermot right, or did Harry go too far? Share below.